Good morning. Welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox. So, I just posted a video provided to us, actually, I think it was a comment by our own Viking warrior, Michael, on an FSB sniper team operating in the Donbass region of Ukraine. If this video gets out to the greater YouTube gear queer audience, they're gonna drool all over it. And I kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit. But first, this is Disaster Coffee Pandemic. It's good. You should get you some Disaster Coffee. Mustache is long. All right. The FSB team, if you will, is kind of the Russian version of what we used to call SAD, Special Activities Division of the CIA, which is now called the Special Activities Center. And I remember when they just had a team room in the basement and were called Special Operations Group. So yeah, they've grown. But it's basically the CIA, in our case, the CIA's action arm of, paramilitary, military-esque type stuff. They hire a lot of former special operators for that unit. The FSB, the Russian, formerly known as the KGB, it's kind of their counterpart, right? And so if you haven't seen the video yet, it's a team of guys infiltrating into a position where they're then going to, do some sniping. And they show all this cool gear, man, much of which is available to the American consumer, much of it. The little things. And so we could all buy that stuff and dress up like FSB operators, man. And if they're that good, if I buy that gear, I'll be that good. I know it's one of the soapboxes I stand up on a bit. I would like you to notice some other things about that video. Because quite frankly, those guys could do what they're doing with your deer rifle, right? First thing, look at how they carry themselves. I'm talking the team, the main team that's infiltrating in, walking. You're going to have to watch the video to understand it, but they have good spacing. They're clearly in an area where they're not expecting contact by the way they're walking. They're walking single file, basically, but they have a decent dispersion between men, and they're moving. Notice how they're moving. Notice the speed and the fluidity with which they move. Notice also at the same time the apparent weight of the equipment they're carrying. And then go back and notice the fluidity with which they move. These are fit men. I know, see, it's like, dude, you're harshing my mellow, man. I just want to buy the cool gear and be a FSB operator type person, right? Again, they could do that job that they did probably with your deer rifle. They're really fit. And fitness doesn't come, they didn't decide to get fit the day before they shot that video. Right? It's a constant thing that they constantly work at, which allows them to carry heavy gear over great distances to do their job, and then pack up and leave and go do their thing again. Right? So fitness counts. Fitness counts a lot. So that's one. The other thing is, notice how comfortable they are with their equipment. They all know how to operate it. They have a little drone. The one guy does ask, it sounds like he has a new guy, hey, do you remember how to set this camera up? He goes, make sure you do it slow and methodically. He's a good leader. He's given his subordinates instructions to keep them alive. You have to know your people. You have to know their level of training, and you have to, I'm talking on your mag or your team if you're just going out there to run a chainsaw, right? You have to show concern for your people. You have to make sure they know what they're doing, and it's okay to give them some last minute be carefuls of. Make sure you wear your helmet. Make sure you put your chaps on before you start chainsawing. You remember what you're doing here? Remember the chain break? You know, those kinds of things. The leader's a good leader. His name's Sokol, I guess. He's a good leader for that unit. He displays good leadership traits. He does the radio check. Notice how he does the radio check. There's something else you can pick up on that, because many of us have radios. Radio's not for gabbing. Radio's not for talking. Radio's not for going, 3, 4, 5, 6, this is 789er, checking you out now, over. Dude, get on, say what you need to say, and get off. He basically did a radio check to make sure they were okay. And I've only watched the video once. I'm actually going to go watch it after this video is shot. I'm going to go watch it again because I enjoyed it. Notice the digging in that had been done. They clearly were going to a prepared position of some sort, relieving, I think, another team that was there. It was kind of a bunker, but not really. It was a dug-in position. They had camouflage, right? They had good camouflage. Again, all the gear in the world didn't help them dig those holes, right? They probably did that. I was looking at the side of the slope it was on. They probably did that with shovels. Have you dug a man-sized hole, woman-sized hole with a shovel lately? Digging lets you know who you are. You learn to appreciate things other than, look, I've got my really cool cold steel Spetsnaz shovel, or I have my Army trifold E-tool, entrenching tool. Yeah, you know what works really good? A long-handled shovel for digging a big hole. Oh, yes, it does. It's that, Oh Brother Where Art Thou has a song, Big Rock Candy Mountain, and it says, and there's a line in there, there ain't no short-handled shovels. Short-handled shovel, you're bent over while you're digging. Long-handled shovels are nice. Oh, you can't carry it on your rucksack, but you can deliver it on site with a truck, right? But think about the preparation of that site. Think about how many people it took, how long to dig. If you pay attention to the trench works and the basically the little, we'll call it a bunker. It didn't look like a bunker, more just like a shelter in the trench. Think about that. Think about the time that wins that. It's not sexy, is it? It's not cool. It doesn't get to show everybody off your 338 Lapua Magnum, man. Which, by the way, that guy was carrying easily over hill and dale, right? Notice how when they were going the one way in that video, the guy stops and he's like turning around and the leader's like, what, did you forget the way? And he's like, no, there's somebody up there. He was paying attention. The point man was paying attention to what was up ahead of them while they were walking. It's like, all right, we don't want to walk that way. There's somebody there. So they turned around. They went another way. They had an alternate route. They didn't sit down and go, well, now how are we going to get there? They had an alternate route already planned, and they just smoothly transitioned to that route. Can you do that? Can you do that when you're going to work and there's a wreck? Probably, because you've done it enough. Can you do it when you're going to your bug out location? What else? I'm trying to think. I don't know. What'd y'all think about it? I just wanted to get on here and talk about that real quickly with y'all. Don't get hung up on gear. Yeah, good gear's important. Pastor Joe, what, I've had so many people tell me on YouTube, you're wearing your plate carrier too low. You think I know how to wear a plate carrier? I do know how to wear a plate carrier. That's because this isn't, right? It's my little pouch. And then everyone's like, what pouch is that, man? Where can I get that? I can't find it on Amazon. Chill, Winston. It's a Hill People Gear pouch. Go check it out. I love it. But the point is, it's not about the gear. Good gear's important. Good gear certainly helps. But if you don't have the skill sets to make use of the good gear, you're wasting money. Americans, we're consumers. Yankee consumerism, capitalism, go team. I'm all for that. But man, we try to buy our way out of problems. We try to buy our way out of problems. Don't be like that. Don't try to buy your way out of problems. Do the hard things. Do the PT every day for the last 18 months that allows you to do this infiltration to the Donbass. Do the time doing your dry firing with your Glock 17 that you carry, that you hopefully never have to use in the situation those guys are in. That's the backup weapon, right? But do your dry firing with it. I know it's boring. It's not sexy. It doesn't make noise. Those guys dry fire. I guarantee it. I guarantee those guys dry fire. We used to dry fire all the time. 15 minutes a day, every day, no matter what. Dry fire. Do I do it anymore? No. I don't make my living with a gun anymore. Should I? Probably. Should do more. I'm not perfect. But don't get fixated on the gear. Get fixated on the less tangible things. Look at that. You know, the little old lady who runs ultra marathons or triathlons or even half marathons and knows how to pay attention to her surroundings and carries a little 380. That's a very potentially dangerous person. And she doesn't have all the cool guy kit on. It's not the kit. It's the man or the woman. And that applies to tactical stuff, that applies to survival stuff, that applies to fishing, to golf, to pick your activity. Focus on the basics. Focus on the fundamentals of what you want to get good at. Master those, and everything else will fall in place. All right, I'll see you out there.